I've spent almost 1000 days in this world, but my base has a serious problem. The storage sucks. It's like really bad. So in this video, I'm going to create the most impressive and aesthetic underground base I've ever crafted, which will allow us to set up a hopper and copper golem sorter to store over 3 million items. So let's get started. So we just built this awesome entrance. We haven't built the base yet. So let's go ahead and get started. First of all, I'm going to create some kind of hole right here. I'm going to make it fairly deep. So I don't know if this is wide enough. It should be. I don't think it needs to be wider. Like that's a decent area to jump into. But I would like to grab some cobblestone just to kind of mark off this entrance here. And of course, I'll detail and texture this a little bit later on. But we're going to dig this down now. In terms of depth, going to assume at least 12 blocks because that will put us well under sea level, which I don't really think is going to be a problem, but just in case. So this is 9 blocks. Let's go another 3 and see how that looks. That's pretty deep. I think that should be enough, to be honest with you. So now I'm going to, of course, dig out some little bits to expand it at the bottom using a similar technique that I use when I build my mountains. Just kind of letting it naturally and randomly expand as it kind of reaches down to the bottom. So the top kind of looks like this a little bit. Let's get rid of this copper ore here. Oh my days, there's ores everywhere already. And we'll just expand this little bottom bit as well. Now I know this looks very dangerous, but don't worry, we're going to fill in the floor with slime block just to make sure we negate all damage when we drop in here, so we don't have to worry. Now the ocean is that way, so I kind of want to dig the base this way so we don't have to really deal with that. We have much more space to work with. I want to create some kind of small tunnel just so we have a little bit more space between the base and kind of this area here, so it's a little bit easier to create some auto sorters. And I'm going to use a very similar design that I've used before, but not in this world yet. I am going to need to grab some spruce. Thankfully I do have some spare, but not much. I just got to find it. Here it is. So this is all the spruce we have left. We haven't got really much at all. I'm going to need a whole lot more, so we're going to be chopping a bunch of trees today. So let's just take these few stacks here and use this to kind of start building, at least get it started. And I mean, we can fly in here pretty easy. You just saw how kind of easy it was to get in here without the slime blocks. So the slime blocks is just going to make that a lot easier. I'm just going to chuck some in like that, very simple, just to get it started. And of course they're going to be stripped. Boom. I think I want to kind of expand this slightly just like that. Then these should be 3 blocks wide here because like I said, this is only an entrance, so kind of like that. And I think 3 should be more than enough. Maybe even too much. Maybe we'll do 2. Yeah, let's just do 2. We only need a little bit of space. I feel like that will be plenty of space to work with to build the auto sorter sections, but kind of hope I'm not going to regret that decision. You know what? No, let's do 3. Let's do 3. 3 should be fine. And if it's more space, then I guess it's not the end of the world. I'd rather have more than not enough. So this should be the entrance. I'm pretty happy with this size. Now, if you're wondering why I'm trying to do this so fast, if we look at the day count, it is 965. So we do not have much time to get this done. The plan is to have this whole thing done before day 1000. And I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit nervous. We are very close. So my plan is to make a very, very good base, which will sort all of our items perfectly and we won't ever have to expand it. So this is going to be a huge base storing millions of items. It's going to be 2 floors, of course. So what I'm thinking, of course, we're going to walk out onto the 2nd floor because I feel like that just makes sense. I always kind of have the entrance on the 2nd floor, or I guess most of the time, just because it feels better because then you look down rather than looking up. But I'm going to kind of have this little extension here just to make the entrance seem a little bit more significant. Plus, I don't like it when they're flat. So I think this will be like a nice opening. Let's just give ourselves a little bit more space. And oh my days, our inventory is already full. I swear we have way too many blocks. We just keep collecting more and more every single time we build something. Especially this last build. This one gave us so much stone to use. But oh my days, how nice is it to enter the base? Beautiful. Now I'm going to give myself a little bit of space just so I can figure out what kind of size I want this thing to be. Now don't worry, we will come back to this. We'll make it look a lot better. Let's just get the shape of at least the top level kind of figured out so we can see what we're dealing with in terms of size. So if I dig a little bit more space over here, we can start figuring out the first kind of section. Now I want the chests to be in sections of 5. So just like this, there's 5 blocks in between and these will be stacked like multiple chests high 5 blocks wide. And most likely the top level is going to contain all of my block, because I would like to use a mix of both regular hoppers and also the new copper golems. Not entirely sure how on earth I'm going to be able to do that, but the plan is to just build the place first so we know at least it looks good. But I reckon 3 of these sections would be absolutely superb. Let's go ahead and do that exactly like this. Oops, let me strip this bad boy. Boom. And oh my days. For one side, this is already looking pretty big. Now let's go ahead and do that exact same thing over here, just like that. So then we've got the entire length of one side, which is enormous, definitely bigger than our current base. And after double checking to make sure they're all the same width, it's now time to go ahead and expand this on all 4 sides, so it's going to be symmetrical. Now of course this is going to be the main entrance, but I'm going to do the same thing on the other 3 sides as well. On those sides we can add in special things like bedrooms and areas to smelt and brewing stations and things like that, which I think is going to be very nice. So let's go ahead and get that done right now. Now, I know this probably doesn't look the best right now, but it is going to look a lot better once we get it kind of continued. It's only 3 blocks high, which is making it feel very kind of closed in. But this is huge. This is absolutely enormous. Now, an issue I had was I kept having to go right back up to the top to be able to drop off my inventory because it was filling up so quickly. I also made my way to the end to fix up my tools because they were all pretty much ruined. But I figured it's time for me to quickly at least do a few sections for the stone that I'm collecting. So of course this very first section is going to be the stone. Now I do want to use the brand new block, the shelf, which requires 6 stripped logs. I think they look really nice, and it's kind of like a vertical slab, but I think this would be really cool, and I'll show you exactly why. Now if I go ahead and increase the height of this by a couple blocks, and of course expand the pillars up very slightly just to reach that brand new height, and you know, I'll give ourselves a little bit more space to kind of work with so we can see it a bit clearer. Now this is obviously going to be one compartment, so let's dig this out so we can fit the chests in. Of course I'm going to be putting glowstone on the front face just to light it up a little bit, but we can do that a little bit later because I don't actually have any. I do need to go to the nether to get some, but obviously this whole thing here is going to be stone, so this isn't a great example. Oh, hold on a minute, the whole stack goes in there, so I need to make sure if I do this, is that gonna, yeah, that's better. Losing an entire stack is crazy. But as you can see, this is going to indicate that these chests above have stone in it. This is not the best example because I'm going to have obviously a huge amount of storage for stone because of just how much I have. And oh my days, I do not have many chests. I'm going to need to get a lot more. I really don't want to be using spruce to make chests. It just feels so horrible. So let's quickly head over. Oh my days. Let's quickly head over to this bamboo forest here and just grab a bunch of that. Eventually, I am going to have to destroy this entire forest anyway, so I might as well use the bamboo for something useful. For the amount of chests we are going to need to create today, this is probably going to be a very empty forest very soon. Probably just going to become a regular jungle rather than a bamboo jungle. Now, thankfully, collecting this stuff is extremely quick just because of how easy it is to harvest this stuff. So pretty much already we have basically a full inventory. So we're pretty much ready to go back and find out how many chests we get from that little section over there that we harvested. So let's try and get in here without hitting anything again. Oh my days. Oh my days. Okay, that was a little bit risky. We need to fix that. Definitely need to get some slime there. But we turned the bamboo into bamboo blocks and then into bamboo planks and then into chests, just like that. Then we can just go ahead and fill this entire section in here, and still some chests short. I'm just going to use some spruce, I'm not going to lie. Bam. All right, now one section is fully ready to go and we can start chucking stone in here. Of course, I'm going to set up auto sorters behind it, but for now, I can just at least store my stone in here. I'm probably going to do the same for the other blocks we're going to be collecting, like andesite, granite, diorite, and all those weird little blocks that we're going to get along the way. Now, obviously, I need to figure out where the middle is going to be. I honestly think 4 blocks wide would be pretty perfect. So let's go ahead and chuck in a pillar here just so we know where the kind of drop off is going to be. Then we'll do the same here and just keep it in line with these. On this corner, we are going to have to kind of have this little bit here, but that's perfectly fine. I think that's nice. Instead of it being a corner, it's kind of curved, I guess. I like it. Now for this, I think Now for this section, obviously we're going to move back like that just to keep it kind of consistent with the back wall there. And we just copy this all the way around, doing the exact same thing on all sides, exactly like that. Now the next issue I have is trying to figure out the design for this. So I'm thinking I literally just smack in a line of spruce logs like this. I know this is going to require me to harvest so many spruce trees, but I think it's going to be worth it because we want this thing to look as good as possible. So I really want to spend some time focusing on making this look good. Now, of course, we're going to get... Oh, hold on. I think I have a bunch up top, don't I? Let's not be turning spruce logs into things that I don't need to turn them into when I've already got some up here. Oh my days. Yeah, look, bunch of spruce trapdoors, slabs, and stairs ready to go. Okay, let's try not to hit anything this time. Boom, beautiful. So I'm gonna do something like this and kind of try and create some like circle. Not circle, like a thing leading up, kind of like that. So you can see here it's covering the entire log, then it starts to slowly cover less and less. So it's like a little peak, I guess, or pike. I don't know how to explain it. It just looks good, okay? And I think I'm gonna do the same thing on this too, just to kind of shape it off. I don't like how flat it was. And you know what, while we're at it, let's give us a bit more space so we can actually see what we're doing, just like that. Oh my days. Also, really quick, if you want to play Minecraft with a friendly community and build beautiful builds without being raided, then my SMP is the best place to do that. There's a bunch of custom powerful tools you unlock while playing. You can level up through a custom set of ranks I've created, join towns, build your own, and so much more cool stuff that I have personally created myself. You can join on Java and Bedrock on version 1.21 or higher, so if you're keen, join the Discord in the description or use the IP down there to join. Anyway, where were we? Okay, so first thing that I'm kind of noticing is it is really tall. Don't know if that's going to be a problem. I won't lie, it is going to make it a lot harder to kind of mine all this out because that roof is now going to be so high up. But I think let's kind of try and copy this a little bit over here. Just create some pillars like this. Dude, this is going to be so many logs. Oh my days. Then just kind of connect them in the middle. Exactly like that. Now I guess I'll just do the exact same thing here that I've done above the chests. I think that could work. Adding in these little special bits as well to corner it off nicely. And we'll do this as well, where we kind of do that little thing that I was talking about earlier where it meets up in the middle. Oh, hold on. I shouldn't have these going straight, should I? Oh, you know what? It works because these are going this way, so these ones can go that way. That's fine. Okay, now I need to figure out what to put in the middle. No idea what to do right now, but let's go ahead and chuck these cheeky fellas right on the edges as well. And you know what, for now that seems okay. Now I don't want to do anything on this face just yet because I'm not entirely sure how this is going to look once we have it all kind of in. I feel like that's definitely the best thing for me to do this design on every section all the way through before I do this, because that's going to be a little bit tricky to figure out. But I'm pretty happy with this height. Like, I know it's going to be a whole lot of work. We have to do double the mining, literally double. Like, this is 3 blocks high right now, but just doing this is going to make it another 3 blocks high. Oh my days. So what I need to do is probably harvest an entire inventory of these logs just to get as many as I can. And then I need to copy this design all the way around and obviously dig out the rest of what we need to do. So without wasting any more time, let's do that, hopefully leaving us a bunch of time to do the next level because yeah, this is going to be a lot of work. So let's go get started right now. Now that took a whole lot longer than I actually expected it to, and to be honest, we didn't really get much done. In fact, this whole top level is still very far from it. But I have added in all of the trims, at least the spruce ones that I'm going to be adding in, and for this roof I've decided I'm going to be using some polished tough and polished tough bricks. I think that's going to be very nice. And for the floor, I'd like to use a stripped oak log because I think that is by far my favorite floor that I've ever created, and I just love to use it. Plus, I haven't used it for a while, so we might as well. I know we're obviously going to need to get a whole lot more logs because of that, but if this is going to be our forever base, we need to make sure it's fancy. Now, I'm pretty sure I had oak logs in here, didn't I? I might have actually used the rest of them. Oh my days, I did. Okay, I'm going to drop everything in here here, and we're going to come over here and grab as many oak logs as I can. Obviously, this is just a jungle. It's not actually a oak log forest. Oh my days. But there are quite a few oak trees over here, and a lot of them are... Oh my days. Okay, we got to be a little bit careful, don't we? Like, we could very easily die here, especially if I'm not wearing my armor. Oh my days. And I don't have my sword, do I? I do. Okay, there we go. I was not prepared for that. I'm not going to lie. Getting a little bit lazy here. Taking a couple too many risks. I'm not going to lie. Not liking it. Got to start being careful again. But anyway, yeah, there's enough oak trees in here for me to grab a couple, and hopefully we can get enough. You know, I could have sworn I had more oak logs, but I've just been going through them so fast lately. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you, these big trees are becoming a little bit annoying to try and farm. So I'm going to go over to this forest, which is a lot further away than it looked, thanks to distant horizons, of course. And of course, I'm just going to chop a bunch of these down. Hopefully this will be a lot easier because they're just the normal standard oak trees. Oh my days. We got some more cheeky buggers over here. Don't worry. Easy, mate. Easy pickings. I have no idea how many stacks I actually need. All I know is it's a lot. A whole lot. We're on the day of 974 and I've harvested a bunch of that forest, getting quite a few stacks. I'm hoping this will be enough. If not, I'll just harvest more during the time lapse. But there was a pretty significant change that I made, which I completely forgot to actually mention. So let me show you. Now, previously I had spruce logs here, but I decided to replace these 3 blocks with iron chains instead. Now, the reason for that is quite simple. I thought having the double layers of spruce just felt a little bit too overwhelming. So these kind of help make it seem a little less bulky, because at certain angles, like for example here, all you would see is a bunch of pillars of spruce logs, and I thought it was just too much. So I changed it with the chains and I think it looks okay. Obviously, if it doesn't end up looking fine in the completed version, we can change it, but I think it just reduces the kind of clutter because there was so much. You see, obviously we used oak logs here, so we're not using strip, but you can see obviously there's 2 layers of logs. There's the one in the middle and the one at the very back on the top level. And it just seems like there's too much. Obviously this isn't as bad, but for example, this angle here, you can see there's just so many. It just feels a little bit too cluttered. So I'm hoping the iron chains kind of just make it feel and seem a whole lot more open. That's at least the plan. I guess we'll have to find out if that actually works out. Now, I do plan to add a little bit of texturing. So for example, taking some of these logs, just replacing them with some oak. I think that could be very nice. Just add that nice little bit of difference into some of the spaces. But just a little bit like that is gonna kind of go a long way. So it's not gonna be 50-50, it's gonna be mostly spruce or stripped spruce logs with just a little hint of the oak logs here and there. I think that's gonna be very nice. Now, of course, I don't want to do that just now because we don't actually have much oak log. Instead, I want to go through here and show you the design I'm going to be using. So obviously oak logs like this, kind of alternating between the 2 different directions, gives us a nice kind of checkered pattern. Now, obviously like that, it looks a little bit weird, I have to admit. But when we strip them, we get this nice bright color, which I think works really well with the spruce. It is very, very nice, and I really enjoy using this design. Judging by how many logs we've already used, I definitely think I'm going to need to go up and farm some more. But that's fine, I'll be able to do that during the time lapse, I guess. But it's going to look like this, and once we get the floor done, I think it's going to look really, really nice. The other thing I plan to do is go through and kind of dig down a couple blocks, maybe 3 blocks, I reckon, just to give us a better idea of kind of how this is going to be looking. I don't know if I want to dig the middle bit out because I still have to do the roof. In fact, you know what? I'm going to do the roof as well. So we're going to do the floor in here. I'm going to figure out the roof. I'm assuming I'm just going to go alternating between some slabs and stairs to meet up in the middle. So it's like a little bit curved. Then we'll dig this bit out. And then hopefully by then, we'll be looking a lot better. I'm going to give you this absolutely phenomenal time lapse where hopefully once I see you again, this place is looking absolutely terrific. I'll see you guys in a second. And a couple hours later, this is what we're working with. What a massive difference. Honestly, I think I really like the style of this base. I really like the stairs we've done here. I don't quite know how it's going to fit in once it's all kind of done. I'm going to have to try and figure a way to make it less sticky outy because they do stick out quite a bit. Plus, I mean, there's a lot of empty space in the middle, so I need to figure out how to fill that a little bit more. And of course, there's no chests anywhere. This entire thing is going to be completely filled with chests. Now, obviously, I've added in a bit of extra like jungle logs in here because I have so many of them, but I didn't have much oak. So I figured I'd add these in as a trim around just to reduce the amount of oak logs I need because I needed so many logs. Oh my days. I think it's really turning out pretty nice, even though there's still quite a lot to do. I mean, let's not even talk about that right now. All of these spaces need to be filled. Now, the very first thing I need to do is go grab some glowstone because there's going to be glowstone on the front block underneath each of these chests, and I've got none. So to the nether we go. I also need to fix this area. This is not looking good. Oh, can we make it? Oh, yes, we can. Easy. One rocket is just enough to kind of get you up to the top here. It kind of works out perfectly. Now, let me grab a fresh pickaxe. Let's go ahead and fly to the nether. Not gonna lie, I don't think I've come here to collect glowstone before. I think maybe a little bit, but there is just so much around and hopefully we can find some easy ones to kind of pick off. I wonder how easy it is to just kind of land up there. Let's go to this one here. Oh no. Okay, this might be a little bit tricky than I thought. Maybe I'll grab some blocks just to make it a bit easier to land up there. Let's go to this one. Nope. Oh, man. Oh, and we got these fellas. All right. Oh, he does a bit of damage, brother. Okay, let's not run into one of them again. You know, instead, I might just try and grab the low-hanging fruits because I really can't be bothered trying to get up there. It just seems like an absolute nightmare that I really don't want to have to face. But like I said, I have no idea how much I actually need. I think I might just grab 2 stacks. I can't imagine I would need more than that. But, I mean, if we do, we can always just come back. But I want to spend as minimal time in the nether as I possibly can. I hate this place with a passion, mate. Oh, this looks like a good bit of glowstone up here. Don't mind if I do, brother. Hell yeah. Oh my days, it is so glowy. This glowstone is glowing, brother. Take a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and I'll get out of here. Don't you worry. I'll see you guys when I have 2 stacks. It shouldn't take too long. We already have half a stack. Okay. Let's go. And just like that, we have way more than 2 stacks. So let's go home and see if this is even enough. Also, we are halfway through day 981. So we almost have less than 6 hours left until we hit day 1000. Very exciting stuff, but kind of a little bit sad, I'm not gonna lie. Hitting day 1000 is such a massive kind of achievement, which honestly, when we started this world, I never even once thought that would even be possible. But just seeing how far this world has come is absolutely insane, and I really love looking back at the old videos and kind of seeing what's been happening. But as I place this glowstone around this top level, I definitely think we're not even gonna have enough. So I'm probably gonna end up having to go back into the nether just to get more, because I want to do the same thing for the chests on the bottom level, but we should have enough to complete the top, and I feel like I really want to focus on just getting the top done first as a priority, because I would seriously love getting all of the hopper storage done today. So the hopper storage is going to be on the top level with hopefully copper golems on the bottom, sorting all the kind of miscellaneous stuff and items. At least the items which don't require more than 1 chest, they're going to be down the bottom. Anything that's like a building block is going to have at least 4 chests or double chests associated with it on the top level. Now we're on to the very last one right here, leaving us with a grand total of 32 glowstone. So it was actually exactly 2 stacks of glowstone to do this top floor. And looking at the area, like the stone walls, the nice glowing effect, I really like that. I'm hoping that will translate to the chest. Like if we look at these, if we come maybe over here, I don't know if that translates onto the chest. It might, but I'm not sure. I hope it does. That would be cool. But I've just realized I haven't added lanterns into the middle bits here, where I did over here. I completely forgot. I have no idea why. So I guess, do I put them in the middle? No, let's leave that empty. Just on the sides where there's chest. I also plan to add some more light into the roof, most likely using hanging lanterns. Not sure where. I don't want to overdo it, but I do want to kind of just add them in around. No idea right now though, so we'll figure that out a bit later. Now the next thing I need to do is get a bunch of tuff. I don't actually know if I have tuff, but I want to get some tuff walls, or at least tuff block, and kind of fill in between these areas with tuff. I think that'll be very nice. And the roof, of course, using tuff slabs. The back will have to be empty or left empty for now, because we're going to have to put hoppers in there, which you will kind of be able to see, but there's not really much we can do about that. But for now, let's see how much tuff we have. I don't know if we have much. Pretty sure I've got some in here, right? A grand total of 14 tuff. Isn't that just fantastic? Oh, no. Oh, hey, but baby zombie riding a golden chicken. Is that what I just saw? What the heck? I think I have like a whole like chest of tuff in here. Surely I do. Come on, please. I really don't want to go and get more. Okay, that's not quite what I had in mind, but you know, I guess every little bit counts. I guess we're going to be heading down into the mines to find even more tuff. Just been using so much of it lately. Like, tuff is such a nice block, especially now that I've found the beautiful polished tuff, which is the actual block I'm going to be using. Not going to be using normal tuff, no way. Coming into this base is very different to the other one. The other one we fly in, here we fly down, so it's even more risky. But I kind of like it, not going to lie. When we get the slime in, it's going to be a lot safer. Right now it's kind of, you know, how you going, it's not great. But well, let's go ahead and add the polished tuff into the sides. I think that's really going to shape it up. Obviously you can see it very well now, but if we go over here, kind of just cleans up that edge there. That edge was very kind of ugly without it. So I think that's just going to fix that up very, very nice. Of course, the top also needs to be done. So let's go ahead and grab some of these cheeky fellas and we can just kind of chuck them up top. How am I going to get there? Oh my days. But using slabs, if you didn't know, above a chest allows you to still open the chest up. So very handy tip if you didn't know that. As you can see, you can open them up. But if I placed a block there instead, like if I made this a tough block instead of a tough slab, I can no longer open that chest. So nice handy tip if you're trying to make chests look a bit nicer, like just tidy it up a bit more, you can open chests if there's a slab above it. I don't know if there's some people out there that didn't know that, but hey, now you do. But I've essentially got to go ahead and do this to all of these sections. Obviously the backs can't be done because that's going to be filled with hoppers feeding into these double chests, and then of course fill these in with chests. Hell yeah, dude. I think the polished stuff is going to be very nice. It complements the spruce very nicely. I think I might, like, obviously I've used it in the roof. I think I might use it in like the little bits that are a bit weird. Like here, I might just chuck in some tough walls. I think that'll really look nice. But I'm going to go into the mines, find a bunch of tuff, place in the bunch of tuff, and I'll see you when that's all done. Now that's not really added much, but at least the chests are able to just go straight in now. Now before I do add in the chests, I do need to fix up this whole entrance here. We've kind of neglected it, but it's time to finish it up. So I'm just going to dig it out a little bit more, and I guess we're just going to start adding the whole thing in. Now I am going to be using a very similar design that I used when I spent 100 days building the ultimate underground base. If you haven't seen that video, I recommend checking it out after this, because I spent a whole 100 days creating a massive underground base, and I think it was awesome. A lot of fun, a whole lot of fun. But I really liked how the kind of entrance part turned out, so I kind of wanted to try and do that over here. Just obviously with a bit of a difference. So it's not an exact copy, but I'm kind of using the same premise. So I'm just going to add something like this in, connect them between just like this, add in stairs on the side with some slabs in the middle just to kind of section it off. I think it looks nice like that. Very, very simple, but gets the job done. Just makes the roof feel much less boring. So now this is what we're kind of working with now. I think it's okay, but there's still a lot more we can do. So I brought down some coarse dirt that we can chuck in the middle here, where we can have a flower in the middle with some leaves on the side. And then finally for the walls, we're going to dig this whole thing out, replace it with stone on the sides, and then we're going to use some polished tough wall and just throw them in this middle section here like that. Very simple, but very, very nice. And I'm just going to replicate this on all of these 8 sections here, just like that. Much, much better, but we're still not done. Our inventory is a little bit cooked, so let's go ahead and kind of try and empty that as much as I can. I honestly think that might be the best I can do for now, but I can grab some spruce trapdoors as well as a couple spruce slabs just like that, and just try to fix this up using a very similar design that we've kind of used throughout this whole base. This is going to kind of keep it nice and consistent. I guess it kind of changes the roof a little, but I still think that looks okay. You know what, maybe even some spruce trapdoors in the middle here. I think that's very, very nice. Now we're still not even done. There's a couple more things we need to do to really bring this whole thing out, but we'll make some dark oak fences. I don't think I need that many, do I? I'm going to make 18 for now. We're just going to place some stairs like this and fill the sides in with some fences just like that. Okay, the first first time I've actually needed more. That's crazy. That rarely happens. But there we go. This is looking so much nicer now. So I'll kind of fix this section up here a little bit better just to make it seem a little bit more natural. Add in a couple stairs and just the same kind of things I do when I'm building my custom mountains. And there we go. The entrance is looking a lot better. Obviously, we do need to do the floor, add in the flowers and the leaves. But once that's done, this whole thing should be looking pretty good. Maybe I can even add lanterns in there. Let's see. Oh, I've got them in my inventory. But as you can see, I've got literally no oak logs. I need to go get more to finish the floor. This will become oak logs as well. But just adding in a couple lanterns in here is really going to spice this up. And I'm curious, do I have flowers over here in these chests? I really hope that I do. I know I definitely have some leaves, like these spruce leaves there. Do I have flowers though? I would be pretty surprised if I find some. Okay, unfortunately no flowers, but we can get them a little bit later. Let's just quickly go ahead and add in the leaves just to add a little bit of nice color in there. And then I'm going to be pretty happy with this entrance here. Definitely a whole lot better than what it was earlier. It actually feels like it fits into the base now. Have a look at that. Oh my days. Now it's time to head to our old base to start bringing some things over. But first, let me quickly empty my inventory because it's a little bit cooked still. But let's head back to the OG base that we have lived out of for hundreds of days. Oh my days, it's going to be so sad once this is all kind of removed. Now, most of these chests are completely empty, so I'm going to do something which is a little bit sad, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to just go through and take all of these empty chests. Now, I know that's going to make this base seem a lot emptier and kind of sad, but these chests take so many resources to create, and if they're here doing nothing, I feel like that would be worse. So of course, we're going to be recycling all of these chests as well as the hoppers because, ladies and gentlemen, no way am I going to be creating a bunch of extra hoppers if I've got hundreds here already. Dude, I'm not made of iron, alright? I'm made of slime. But I feel like one day maybe we can come and make it look like it's still got chests everywhere, but it just doesn't feel right leaving hundreds of chests over here in this base doing absolutely nothing. So this massive line of hoppers going around this base doing absolutely nothing is also going to come, and I'll see you guys in a second when that is done. And now after moving all of the empty chests from the old base to the new base, this is what the new base is looking like. So many chests. It worked out to be over 8 stacks of chests that were completely empty, which according to my calculations is over 1 million items worth of storage. I also went through and collected as many hoppers as I could, and this is how many we've got, almost 4 stacks. So now my plan is to grab a bunch of blocks which I want to start sorting and start getting them over here with the hoppers set up behind them. But this is what the base looks like now with all the chests removed, and I think it's probably, let's say maybe half of the chests total that have been replaced. Now what I'm going to do is grab hopefully a stack of every kind of block I've got over here. In fact, do I have any shulkers? Ah, beautiful. We've got a bunch of shulkers that I can start filling up. So of course I'll start with the ones we've already sorted. So leaves, goodness, I haven't actually got many, do I? There's a lot of blocks I still need to go and grab. I've got no birch, no acacia. I have a bunch of jungle logs still. Oh, I do actually have oak logs in here. I didn't know about these. That's going to be very helpful. But if you look in this shulker and this shulker, that's pretty much all I was sorting. So with this new base, we're going to go ahead and fix that up. I'm going to, of course, try and grab as many blocks that I can that I know that I use a lot. Wait, did we get spruce leaves? No, we didn't. I do have spruce leaves. I don't know why that wasn't sorted. And after raiding everything I could, this is the first shulker box and this is the second shulker box. There's definitely still a lot that I'm kind of missing, but the reason I'm doing it this way is I want to make sure I try and keep everything in similar position rather than forcing me to kind of run around my entire area to grab similar kinds of blocks, if that makes any sense at all. I don't even know. But even with just these shulker boxes, if we can sort all of these items, that's going to be a massive help. So with all these blocks, let's plan exactly where we're going to be sorting these to. I'm going to grab the blocks which I know are going to go in those positions and just add them in like this. That's why I grabbed the stack. Now this stack will be used to become the sorter, but as you can see, for example here, I'm just going to chuck these in, then these, and I'm just going to continue to do this all the way around until we have a spot for all the blocks that I use very, very often. I want them all to be nice and close to each other. So oops, on my days, these shelves are kind of weird to use, but I really like them. So now we've got mud, some different types of dirt, and grass and moss blocks here. For cobblestone, I feel like I need to use an entire section. Actually, to be honest with you, I think I might put cobblestone over here. We got the stone here, and then having the cobblestone on this side, I feel like that makes the most amount of sense. I don't have a chest right now, so I'm just going to put a hopper there with the cobblestone inside of it. But there we go, cobblestone now there. Next up, we've got the coral. Beautiful, that looks really nice. I really like these shelves, man. I think it's so unique. Now we've got some sandstone variants, and I just added hay and muddy mangrove roots over here as well. And some endstone, I felt like that would fit well with the yellow. And the muddy mangrove roots are here because this side's going to be some wood. I don't have many right now though. Well, I do have some spruce, but that's about it. So for now, that's going to have to do. Now, because there are 11 types of logs, I need to make sure I leave enough space. So this is 5, 5, and then 1. So the leaves will then begin here, and I'm assuming I'm going to have 11 of those as well. Actually, maybe there's more leaves because there's the flower and azalea as well. So put flower and azalea here, then azalea there, so I'll leave a space, then I'll just add these other ones in as well. There's still so many different types of blocks that I need to sort, and even more that I don't even have any of right now. Apparently there's only 11 types of leaves. I don't know if that's counting the nether leaves, but I don't really think I'm going to use them, so I'm just going to leave 11 spaces, which would put us up to here. So for this section, I'm going to just do some clay, some calcite, and some bone block, which will allow us to start the nether section on a brand new area. And honestly, if we look at this, so far so good. We have a bunch of block ready to be set up to be sorted. Obviously a lot which we don't even have any of, which I think I should go and get, but I don't know if we're going to have enough time to do that before day 1000. And I really want to have the base at least finished before day 1000. So what I need to do now is go through the back. I guess I'll create some kind of entrance in right here, and I'm going to dig out a nice little section where I can add in the exact same design that I did before. I do need to grab all the redstone components, so I'll quickly show you exactly what I'm going to do. So in the back here, you can see this massive monstrosity. This is how we automatically sort items. They go into these hoppers, which I've actually partly already destroyed, and they pretty much just get sorted down. Let me see if I can dig down here to show you a bit better. You can kind of see one of these little modules here. This is exactly how you sort items. It's pretty simple, but of course I do need to grab all of this stuff because I don't think I have much redstone. So it's another item I don't really want to be trying to create more of if I don't really need to. And these are going to be useless just sitting here doing nothing. So of course instead I'm going to just steal them. Is it really stealing though if they're mine? I don't know. This is probably a better look at how this system works. You can kind of see it a little bit better there. It's very simple, just a comparator, some redstone, a repeater, and then a torch underneath. And that's how all the magic happened. Amazing, right? But I'm going to go ahead, take this to the new base, and get all the items we just set up ready to be sorted automatically. So I will see you guys in an absolute jiffy. I completely ran out of stuff because obviously we didn't sort much stuff here and we are sorting so much more stuff. So I came back to check and it turns out we do have a bunch of redstone. Look at that. Oh my days. Plus we have a bunch of quartz and I think they're kind of the only things we really need. Of course I do need to find some sticks, which I know we have a bunch of, and I think it's stone, but it could also be cobblestone. I can't remember. So stone to make a comparator and a bunch of redstone torches. So let's first of all make the torches, and then the comparators are just as easy as that. Very easy. Oh my day. I'm not gonna lie, I was so worried that I was gonna have to go try mining for all this stuff, but honestly, massive relief knowing that we've got a bunch of it. I also need repeaters, so how do you make them? Pretty simple as well. Goodness, we do need a lot of torches though, redstone torches I mean, but I know we have so many sticks, it is unbelievable. So just like that, oh wow, we actually didn't have enough stone. Oh my days, that's fine. But yeah, just like that, we have everything we need. Almost the exact same amount of repeaters and comparators. I didn't even mean to do that. I'm just a professional Minecrafter at this point. But we'll grab a bunch more redstone torches as well. And we've got 35 redstone blocks left over. Oh wait, hold on. Before we go, I do need to grab my anvil, which is actually about to break. But I also wanted to grab some iron ore, some copper ore, and some coal ore because I know I've got a bunch of those, so I want to sort them as well. I'm going to take the blocks of iron that I've got just in case I do need to make another anvil. Oh my days, and some more seeds, which we got plenty of. And I'll show you exactly why we need a bunch of seed. But we just got to head to the new base so I can show you what I've been up to. Now, everything looks normal until you come over here. look at what I've been creating. I've tried to make it as easy to walk through here as possible, which is very different to what we had last time. So much space to kind of work with. So if anything goes wrong or I needed to change anything, it's very easy for me to do. And obviously this is where I got up to before I ran out of stuff. But obviously seeds with a name is kind of how you stop things flowing down. So let's see if I can quickly name these seeds. There we go. Okay, we got another anvil. You know, I might as well do another stack again. There we go. The anvil is gone. So now we have 2 renamed stacks of seeds that we can use, and I can just go through and continue what I was doing. Obviously, I'm just going to have to continue digging all the way around. And before I forget again, you know what? Let's go ahead and place these over here just to be a little bit different, starting from this side. So I want the coal ore here, just like that. I guess I'll just place a hopper there for now. Then we'll have the iron ore right here. And then finally the copper. Not sure if I'll get other ores in here. I would like to, but these 3 ores are the main ores that I have a lot of. So I know for sure I want to keep them there because I do enjoy using these for like decoration sometimes. But yeah, we're already on day 986 and I've barely even got these done here. We're kind of up to this section now. So I have to go all the way up to over there. I have a whole lot of work to do. So let me go ahead and try and get that done right now. So I made my way not too much further than you saw last time. We've gotten up to just here, but I completely ran out of hoppers, which I do have enough iron for, but I don't have the chests, believe it or not. Hey buddy, how'd you get in here? Get out of here. Obviously, instead of just stopping, I went through and I dug the rest out, and I added these little stone bits in just so I know exactly where they're going to be going. Now, I don't think I need much in terms of hoppers because I haven't actually got any items for all of these, so I don't need to set the auto sorting up for these ones just yet, but I do need to set all the auto sorting up to here, which is going to require quite a lot more hoppers. Plus I have to wrap it all the way around to be able to link up to the other side where the cobblestone is, which is of course going to be the end of the loop, and then it's going to go downstairs. But I just wanted to show you that I did dig all of this out. I'm actually on my final pickaxe. I've gone through so many already. I don't think I'll need to repair them to finish this because this one is still half and I'm breaking 5, so it should be fine. And to be honest, I think all the digging is done, apart from a little bit downstairs for the compartments, but that shouldn't be too tricky. But what I'm going to do is take this crafting bench as well as all this iron that I've got in here over a stack of iron block, and I'm just going to go absolutely bonkers on this bamboo area over here, craft a bunch of hoppers, and then get that finished so we can finally move on to the bottom level. We only have 12 days remaining, so we need to be fast. So most likely this area is going to look completely different when I'm done with it because I mean I need so many chests. So I'm going to use my sword because my axe is kind of dead and I'm sure I'm going to need it. I don't really want to go to the end to repair anything to get this finished, but you guys don't want to see me chopping bamboo for an hour or something. Hopefully it's not going to take that long. I'm probably just going to try and get like an inventory full of chests and hoppers, but of course it's going to take a little bit of time. But I'm going to do that, then I'm going to add them all in, and I'll see you guys when that's done. So now all of these chests on the second level are completely filled in, and the hoppers go all the way up to here. So we just pretty much have a quarter left. But once again, I've run out of chests. But now that we have a good majority of the blocks that we require kind of ready to be sorted and ready to kind of just get filtered through, I should be able to put a good majority of these blocks through. And my plan is that any block that don't make it through to the other side, that is how I'm going to figure out what other blocks I still need to sort. So that means I'm going to be spending the next probably 5 or so days doing everything I can to kind of get everything moved over here and just putting everything through this chest here. Now, of course, the end of the line is right here, but I'm also going to be grabbing more hoppers that should extend all the way down here to this final phase here. Then I'll have the hoppers come back here and head downways, which if we just kind of dig down here and straight ahead, we should run into a section. Yep, just here. So this is going to be the output section. I'll set up a bunch of chests. That's how we're going to see what items are remaining to kind of sort through, and we can get that done. So next time I see you, hopefully everything is moved over. Hopefully the hoppers are all the way around, and hopefully we have an output chest. Let's get that done right now. Ladies and gentlemen, 5 days later, or an hour and a half, almost 2 hours, I think. I have no idea. It's been a long time. I finally got all the blocks here, but they are in these shulker boxes. And oh my days. This is gonna take forever to sort through. There is just so much random stuff in here. But I found so many blocks which I had no idea about, which is amazing. Now we only have pretty much an hour and a half, just under an hour and a half actually to finish this. So as you can see, I've gotten more chests from the old place and it's starting to fill up. We didn't quite make it all the way, but what I'm gonna do is find some logs, or actually we'll use planks for now just to save space. I really want to try and get rid of as much of this as I can just to make my job in the future a lot easier. So these are all the random planks that I found. Let's turn them all into chests just like that instead of letting them go to waste. 42, oh my days. Now I'm also going to just turn an entire stack of jungle logs into chests as well. Hopefully this will be enough. I guess we're about to find out. If not, I got another 2 stacks of jungle logs that I found in all of those chests that I went through, and we can just use them. Now just this final section here, and we're definitely going to need more chests. Again, oh my days. I don't even know how many chests is in this entire base, but there is so many. Oh my days. I'm definitely going to need the extra chests anyway, so I'll just make an entire stack of chests using 2 whole stacks of jungle logs, and I'm really hoping that's going to fill in these last 2 sections here, and then we'll be done with the chest making for now until I need more hoppers, which isn't going to be much of a wait, I'm not going to lie. Oh my goodness, I still need more. Dude, just need to find a stack of logs somewhere, please. There we go, spruce will do. I'm at the point where I just want this chest situation to be done, and thankfully now it is. Oh, now it is. There we go. Beautiful. Now I also found some more glowstone somewhere. Let me find it. Hold on. Here it is. Beautiful. So I want to use glowstone, and I'm pretty sure I have a bunch of jungle logs still. So let me grab those. They should be over here somewhere. Right here. Oh, beautiful. I'm going to use these, and I'm going to just go through, place in a line of glowstone and then a line of jungle logs just to connect these together, and of course strip them like that. So that should provide a good amount of light. Now I don't think 27 or 22 glowstone is going to cut it, no way. So I'm going to definitely have to go back to the nether to grab some, but that's perfectly fine. It shouldn't take me too long at all. I did find another pickaxe in my chest. As I was going through them, I must have accidentally thrown it in there when I was sorting previously, and I just forgot about it. So that was a good find, and that is the last glowstone there. We didn't make it even halfway, but if I go grab a stack of glowstone from the nether, that should be pretty fun. So I'm gonna try and find some easy glowstone like this little bit over here, and I'll see you guys back at the base. And now we have 50 glowstone. That should be more than enough to finish this up. And there we go. All the glowstone is in, making those chests seem a lot nicer. But don't worry, there's another thing we need to do to finish up those sections. Let me just see if I can find some in all of my shulker boxes. Oh, there's 41. Oh my days, look at that. I'm going to be so surprised when I sort everything properly and just see how many blocks I've got that I've completely forgotten about. That is literally going to be the best day ever. But I need to fly out to get to my stone cutter, which is right up here. You know what? I'm going to bring it down with me. I'm going to make a bunch of polished tough stairs, and I guess because I've already got the tough brick stairs, I'll use both of them. Can I reach in there? No, I can't. Oh, that sucks. Gonna have to break these chests. Well, I'm gonna have to break this one too, so I can place these in like this to kind of section that top bit off a little bit. Because otherwise you've got that ugly gap, because I can't actually place chest there because it's logs on top. A little bit of a design flaw. Oh well, my bad. I guess that is the downside of not building things in creative, but I like to do things a little bit different to everyone else. I think that's the fun of survival. We just got to figure out how to work with it. And honestly, I think that looks fine. Almost as if it was meant to be. And there we go. That's all these stairs above the chests placed in. Now, I was thinking these shelves look a bit boring, and because we can put blocks on them, what if we just made a bunch of stone buttons, just spread them across my inventory like that, and use some scaffolding so I can kind of see this a bit better? And what if we just went like this? Or should we do the middle of each, or just skipping one each time? Does that match up? Oh, that does. Now, can we see that from a distance? Oh, we can. Wow. I actually like that. It's a very, very subtle detail, but I really think it just adds a little bit of, you know, that very tiny detail into that section. And I think it looks a little bit nicer. I know we literally only have 4 days or less than 4 days now to complete this, but I feel like that's going to be worth it. I just think that looks so cool. Just a random thing I thought of, and you know, trying to use these shelves to do some cool things. We might as well try. And I mean, a button, it's very small, that just kind of adds that little bit of difference in there, kind of like an extra button. Like you can see those little buttons or little nodules that are in there kind of just adds an extra one. I think that's super unique. Like if you look at that side compared to this side, that's just so much better. And maybe some here too in this middle one, in the corner bit, just in the middle like that. Oh my days, that is phenomenal. Holy camole. We've even got this one here. I can chuck one in the middle like that. Oh my days. 100%. That is amazing. These shelves, there's going to be so many things people can do with these. Like if someone came to this base and I didn't tell them about that stone button, I don't think they'd probably even notice. But it's just such a nice little intricacy, and I think it's so worth it. Like now that I'm looking over here, it just doesn't look right without those buttons in there. Like I think that's so much nicer. Plus it gives it a little bit more depth because it does stick out ever so slightly. Oh my days. Now I know I just spent 5 or 10 minutes adding those little buttons in, but 100% that looks so much better. I think that is so nice, man. Oh my days. Now for all of these, I'm going to do a live stream where I go through and pretty much just sort everything. Of course, I'm going to chuck these item frames on here just so they're ready to go. Obviously no item frames on that one because that's the output, but that's going to make it a lot easier to kind of continue with the sorting when we do that. Now all of these are just going to temporarily go in here. I'm going to put the shulker box sign there just so I remember, but now I need to do the neck thing, which is going to be adding some extra lighting. I had an idea to have like end rods hanging off a lever. So if I come up here and grab some cobblestone, goodness, I still need to figure out where everything is, and I try and find some sticks. I think I got some over here somewhere. No, I do not. I haven't even got logs in here, do I? Oh my days. Okay, guess I'm going to be turning logs up here into some stick. Just 8 logs to make 64 and then 64 levers. I'm hoping that's going to be enough. Now in order to get end rods, I'm going to need to go to the end to get some chorus fruit and the nether to get some blaze rods. So before we do that, let me just grab a stack of oak logs so I can at least finish this little section through here, just so that it's fully done and ready to go. All right, that's a lot better. Now let's head over to the end after stopping by our old base to get some more fireworks. By the way, this is kind of what it's looking like now. These are the only things with items in it, but I condensed all the items down into one chest just to make it easier to kind of find things, which definitely made it a lot easier to find these fireworks, that's for sure. But let's go over to the end so that we can get some chorus fruit. I also need to try and find some tuff while I'm here, like right here maybe. I hope this is going to be a bit of a bigger vein than it looks like. Okay, never mind, that was barely any tuff. That was literally 17. That kind of sucked. Looks like there's still some in here. Oh, and there's still some up here too. Okay, goodness. Oh wait, I can just steal this as... Oh, hello guys. Did I just try and steal this tuff? I mean, it's literally the block that I need anyway, so why not? There seems to be a lot of it here. Oh, we got some skeletons after us, and we got a creeper. Okay, we got to be careful, man. I mean, I'm pretty sure this is going to be enough tuff, but I want to grab just a little bit more just in case. I don't really want to be coming back here to finish this build off just because we ran out of tuff. Okay, surely that will be enough. So let's go into the end. And of course, before we go and get some chorus fruit, I need to heal up my stuff because even my sword is completely dead. I think that might be the first time my sword is basically gone. And now let's head straight over to where this stuff is. I think there might also be end rods at the end city. So I might try and swing over to this one here just to see if I can possibly get some for free. Oh wait, hold on. 5 chorus fruit for just one of them? That's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I don't actually need to get many. Pretty sure I just smelt these and it turns it into Pop's chorus fruit. Then I just need some blaze rods and that's as easy as it is. Oh my days. Dude, some enderman just started randomly attacking me. I was not ready for that. But we got 56 chorus fruit, so I can head back now. It's so weird seeing just one little end island in the middle of what, thousands of end islands way off in the distance. Kind of crazy, not gonna lie. It makes it seem so small even though it's a very big island. But let's try and fly into here without looking at any endermans. Boom. All right, and we're on the night of 997, so we've got basically 2.5 days remaining, and that's it. Or for the mathematicians out there, 50 minutes. So let's get some blaze rods. Okay, I didn't bring my chest plate. That was probably a bit of a misplay. I'm pretty sure this way was the nether fortress, so I don't really want to walk through there just so I can avoid those scary hoglins. Oh look, there's one right here. Okay, that's not the one we went to last time, but I'll take it. Oh wait, is it? Oh no, it is. Okay, never mind. Oh, with the skeletons, not my friend. Not my friends. I really should have brought my chest plate, I'm not gonna lie. Big mistake. Guess it just means I gotta play very safe. Oh, I even got ladders here. Oh my goodness, I haven't been here for so long. I have no idea what this is gonna be like. I also have no idea where the the blaze spawner is. Let me get some blocks just in case I have some issues. It's been so long since I've been here. I have no idea. Okay, there seems to be some blocks over here. Yep, this was definitely where I struggled to survive. Goodness, they do quite a lot of damage, I'm not gonna lie. Oh my days. Definitely should have brought my chestplate. I think that's the one with fire protection. Dude, how am I struggling with blaze? Literally on day 997. Okay, I got 13. I'm hoping that's gonna be enough. If not, then I guess that's just unlucky. Not gonna lie, I just want to get out of here. We can't be losing this world on day 1000. That'd be crazy. Now I can make a furnace, grab some coal block, and start smelting these. I'm pretty sure 1 blaze rod plus 1 popped chorus fruit equals 4 end rods. Let's just make sure. Oh yeah. So now I can go... Do I do this, then that? Oh yeah, that is beautiful. Oh my days. So I only need 4 per section on the bottom level, which will leave us with quite a lot to do some on the top level maybe. All right, definitely very fancy. Now, do I do that on the top level as well? I make 32, so I definitely have enough to, you know what, we might as well try it. Let's just do the exact same thing. Wait, hold on a second. Why does that change the shell? I actually don't mind that, to be honest. I think that's pretty unique. It like removes the lines in it. Okay, kind of makes it just look like an extension of that stair then. I didn't even know that was a thing. Oh my days. And there we go. That's all the end rods added in, adding in a nice bit of light in, and I think it's really coming together very nicely. I did have some of these. I've got so many blocks that I've found through my base, but I wanted to try this. What if I remove this stone here and kind of add these tough walls in here like this? Oh yeah, 100%. That looks so much better. Can I do that here as well? Yes, and that kind of ties in better with the top bits. So let's add this all the way around the base, at least on the bottom floor. And there we go. The bottom floor walls are now completed. Dude, that tough on the corner bits there has made that so much better. Oh my days. Now there's a couple more things I do need to tidy up. I do need to do the corner bits with the tough up here. I'm going to add just tough blocks to the backs with some tough walls in the middle, most likely. And I've got to use this design on these kind of exits that are going to become like other rooms in the future. But I got to do that on all 3. None of them have been done, as well as all the roofs. So let's go ahead and do that. And I'm going to see if I can try and add a couple decorations into there just for the last day and a half, maybe 2 days, if we can kind of rush and get it done. So I'll see you when that's done. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the night of 999. As you can see, we made it just in time for day 1000. Obviously, we didn't really get to sort any of this stuff, but we're going to be sorting this on the very next stream on Friday. So if you're watching this in the first day or 2, then make sure to tune in for that live stream where we go crazy on trying to sort this whole thing out. That's going to take a long time. Don't even know if it's going to be done in one stream. It's probably going to take longer because it literally took me an hour and a half just to get these items over here. And I mean, these shulkers are all full of just a bunch of random blocks, and that's not even everything over yet. So goodness me. But I can't believe we've actually made it to day 1000. Obviously, I did a few things. I added in these black wall like I said I would. I fixed up the roof. I added a little garden on the sides here just to kind of fill that little weird spot in a little bit. I think it kind of looks a lot better. And obviously this big map in the middle that we're going to fill in on the 1000-day video. So make sure to go ahead and check that one out when it's posted. But dude, I am unbelievably happy with how this whole base has turned out. I think we've done a fantastic job. Like, there is so much storage here, and I really think this is going to last us for the remainder of this world. I don't see us ever needing to do anything else. Like, this is every little bit of storage that we could possibly need, right? Like, I'm sure I could sort almost every single block into one of these chests. Like, it's great. It's fantastic. And if I do start running out of space, I've had to do it with the grass a little bit. I will just start storing them in shulker boxes like that. So if I take this one, an entire thing of grass right there. But that's kind of how I'm going to sort that issue out for future, because I'm not going to lie, I never ever want to move houses again, because this definitely felt like I was moving in real life. This was brutal. It took a very long time to kind of move everything over, and we're not even finished. Dude, oh my days, the sorting is going to be crazy. But this thing looks incredible. I think this is by far the nicest underground base I've ever made. I really like how we use the shelves, and we're gonna obviously use the hoppers on the top, so the traditional sorting system, and then we're gonna be using copper golems down the bottom. No idea how I'm gonna do that, but we'll figure it out like we always do, just to kind of sort these things into each of the individual chests. But man, this is gonna be so nice to kind of finally get fully set up with all the sorting done. I love it so much, so much. But ladies and gentlemen, if you've watched all the way to the end, I appreciate you so much. I really hope you enjoyed watching me try and build this massive underground base, and I really hope you liked the way it turned out as well. If this video manages to get, let's say, 500 I'll make a tutorial on this underground base so that you guys can build it in your world as well. But remember, join my SMP if you want to join a fun, friendly SMP where you can build without being griefed, and of course get a bunch of custom stuff that just makes the game so much more fun and enjoyable. For example, your tools never break. It is so annoying having to repair my tools. On my server, the forged tools do not break, so make sure to join the Discord if you want to be involved in that. But ladies and gentlemen, as always, thank you so much. I appreciate you for being here and watching these videos. And until next time, peace out.